Really excited today to talk to you about breakthroughs. We've got a great panel coming up. And to warm us up, I'd like to talk a little bit around what the definition of a breakthrough is. So we have context for the day. So you're going to see some great experiences today. You're going to see some great talkers. Just to give a little context about what a breakthrough is and what does it mean. We believe that there's three things that exist within a breakthrough. The origin of a breakthrough, where did it come from? Why does it happen? What are we trying to solve for? The obstacle that exists. Why has no one been able to solve this problem before? Why has no one been able to charge through this point? And then ultimately the opportunity that this breakthrough provides us. But the one key factor that we see that exists in all of these breakthroughs is the individual courage of the individual, of the team, of the group, of the outcome that they're looking to. We need courageous leaders to make these breakthroughs happen. And so today, when you think about this, think about the theme that I just laid out here. Think about the courage that exists in some of these. And I'm going to walk you through an example today, just a quick example before our panelists come on. So spoiler alert, the breakthrough, modern day technology has created a cure for cystic fibrosis. A gene therapy that's been under research since the early 1990s has actually come to market in 2017 that has basically reversed the effects of cystic fibrosis for 80% of the population in 2017. And between 2017 and 2019, it's upped the percentage to about 90% of the population. So this modern day miracle has happened while we've all been here in the last decade. The origin of this goes back to 1300. There's even an artifact that states that DNA from the early BC of 350 of someone with CF. And in the early 1300s, there was a quote, "Woe is the child who tastes salty to the kiss on the brow, for he is cursed and soon must die." Some of you might know that cystic fibrosis manifests in salt skin. The patients have an issue with transporting salt. And so the way that they were able to identify people with this is by literally licking their skin and understanding that they were salty. So in the 1300s, that's the way that they identified. And they didn't know what it was. And they thought people were hexed or bewitched with this type of disease. And they would die before the age of 5. And then in 1938, individuals started to discover the first signs of this and really be able to figure out why this is happening and that it's actually a genetic issue, and then be able to start to treat it. So the origins of this go very far back. And when we think about the obstacles that exist, that the only identification of this disease was through being able to lick your skin and understand that you were salty. Medical advancements weren't there to understand what gene therapy was. The science wasn't there to be able to identify, what to do. So the average age life expectancy for an individual with cystic fibrosis was less than 20 years old, up to 1980. So where does the breakthrough come through? The opportunity comes through, the gene was identified by individuals of scientists in the early 1990s. From there, the research exponentially grew. The average age life expectancy went from 20 to 30 to 40. And then in 2017, as I mentioned, they found a cure. They found a gene therapy that would reverse the effects of the disease. So that's really, the obstacle that they overcome. But where did the courage exist? The courage existed for those patients, those families, those medical individuals who had no other choice but to participate in clinical trials, because there was no outcome for them other than to give their bodies back to science and participate in these clinical trials, because there was no treatment. So the courage exists in the parent that just found out that their daughter was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis and had to go into the hospital and say, "You don't have a cure for me. What can I do? I can give myself to the medical community to help advance this." And you can see here a timeline from 1990 to 2017, finding that cure, and the amount of people that went through that to be a part of that, to find the cure for the community, is truly the breakthrough that I want to leave you with the example. So, and the reason why this is important to me, my daughter has cystic fibrosis. And these two people, my daughter Claire and my wife Shannon, are my breakthrough. And I want to share that with you because you're sitting here today to learn about breakthroughs. But what is your breakthrough? What are you waiting on? Where can you be courageous? What is the obstacle that sits in front of you? Take today to find that, bring that back to your company, bring that back to your family, and truly find your breakthrough.